Hi, I'm here with my model, Jordan, and I'm going to be doing a very exciting haircut on Jordan using the shark tooth razor. Now this is very innovative. The way I have his haircut is a little different way to do it. Now I call this my caterpillar cut because it kind of reminds you of a caterpillar. So, but you want to be a butterfly when you grow up?
Yeah.
No, it's he. Anyway, the shark tooth razor, let me show it to you up a little bit closer. Because if you cut with the screw side facing you, then you take less. It's texture. If you flip it over with the smooth side facing you, then you take more hair off. Now the shark tooth razor is really great because you have a similar effect as you do with a channeling shear, but it's not a little square cut. It's a very deep, exaggerated point cutting is what it is. Now the reason that I'm going to be doing it with the razor is because I want these ends to be textured. So I could go with a channeling shear, it's going to take me longer and I wouldn't get the soft cut. So the reason the shark tooth is so innovative is the results that it gives. And of course the way you cut with this too. Now I'm going to be holding it this way. It doesn't matter, you can be left-handed or right-handed, it makes no difference. You can use the little piece to scoop up the pieces. There's lots of different ways to do it. Now when I have his hair up in these little ponytails, and let's turn Jordan to the side and you can see. Let's just say for instance you wanted the top shorter, then you would just start shorter in here. I want Jordan's bangs a little longer, so I'll go, this is not as long here, so I'll just texture this out, and as we go, however you do this, let's say you want this longer, you leave it longer. If you want it shorter in the crown, what's going to happen with this haircut is simply shorter layers on the top, and I'm going to retain his length around the bottom. And that's why this is a wonderful way to do this. So I'll just take the shark tooth razor and just come upward. Now let's take just a little more. Let's take a little more. You see how the little pieces are scattered on the ends? This is real bulky in here because I looked at it when I was clipping his up like this and I could see the bulkiness there. You see how wonderful that is? How the ends are kind of exaggerated. Now if you want to go in deeper, you can go in a little deeper. Let's say in this area, I'm going to start out shorter because I want this area a little shorter. So you just take it off. Now this is the crown area, so I'm going to go in a little deeper and a little shorter and just get those pieces. All the ends are scattered. Now you know how much work it would take you to do it with a scissor. You can do it, but it's not as fast. So I'm just going in and just zipping it off. Now we want a little texture in this area, so we'll just go in and texture that out. Let's go over it just a little. Depending on the length you want, a little more in here and a little more in here. Now, here's what happens when it comes down. We just take the little rubber bands out, remove the rubber bands, and I'll show you what we have. We have it shorter in the top and longer around the edges. Let me just shake this out. Now Jordan's hair will dry out. You see with a shorter top, I retained all of his length around the edges. So you can see how fun that is to do in the salon. And fast, fun, and all of that. Shorter in the top, longer in the bottom. He'll be able to take it back behind his ears if he wants to, have a little length in this area. So that's a really neat way to use the shark tooth. Now when you go, if you want to use it taking a little more texture, you see what you can do is just take the end of it, and I'm just going to take a little more off and show you how to do that. It makes all these ends real soft, real natural. And that's why we have the little end on there like that. Just pulling it up, taking the pieces at random, but knowing ahead of time I want him shorter in the top and longer around the edges. Let's take a little more. I'm just going over what I cut, just taking a little more so I can show you how that works. I don't want to use the comb with this. I just take the end of the razor and just razor it out. And of course, Jordan's hair is just fabulous like this. So it worked real good. We'll bring him back in just a few minutes when it's dry and you can see the end result.